Hey guys, welcome back to another video on my channel. Today, in this video, we're going to be doing tips to avoid when it comes to writing your personal statement. Obviously, I can't really say whether my personal statement worked because I'm actually going to be going through the UCAS applying process myself in the next few months. Make sure you subscribe. Tip number 1, avoid unoriginal quotes or question marks. I really don't get the whole point of using a quote or question mark. I really don't. To me, if I was one of the interviewers or those admissions people at the unis, I'd just be like, it doesn't make you unique, it just makes you seem like a copycat. Don't use unoriginal quotes or question marks because it's probably likely that the admissions people will be thinking you're this type of person. So just don't let the admissions people form that perception of you, right at the beginning of the statement. Just don't do that. If you have to use a quote, just make it original. And as long as you can provide an answer for why you wrote this quote in the first place, then you'll do fine. Second thing, avoid cliches. When I say avoiding cliches, I mean ever since I was 5, I've always wanted to become a biologist. No, you didn't. When you was 5, all you wanted to do was eat, sleep, and play. That was it. There was no going to the lab doing flaming experiments. No, there was none of that, okay? And how would you know what you want to do when you were 5? That makes no sense. There's completely no logic behind it. So just please avoid using that type of cliche or going along that similar style. Third thing, don't put bullshit information. When I say bullshit information, I mean don't start talking about your passion for this particular course and then you slowly start to mention a completely different course altogether. And it's just do you want to do this course or do you want to do this one? Come on, you're literally giving the admissions people a lot of confusion because they don't know whether if you're applying to this one or applying to this one. So it's you really got to know what you want to study, and in that way you can pretty much focus exactly what you want to write, okay? Fourth thing, don't put bullshit, extracurricular, yada yada information. Don't put, I was a captain of the dance team at my school when you're talking about science, because that just doesn't make any sense. There's no relation to that. It's how does that relate to the course that you want to do? So what I mean by this is actually provide relevant information to back up your course and why you're passionate about it and why you think that this uni should give you an offer and should maybe potentially accept you. So just use relevant evidence. So talk about the work experience that you did and how was that relevant to the course that you want to do. Talk about any relevant after school activities. Talk about the relevant books, newspaper articles, websites, documentaries, YouTube videos that are all relevant to the course that you want to do, because there's no point saying that you've read about this book but that has nothing to do with what you want to study. Because for me, if I read this personal statement and they included this information, I'd just be so how is that related to the course that you want to do? Because that makes no sense. So you really gotta use relevant information and relevant evidence to back up your information. Number 5, check punctuation, spelling, and grammar. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've seen people's writing abilities. It's just you spent 10, 11 years of your life doing English. Seriously, it's not that hard to actually make your writing legible. I mean, I can't really judge myself because, my writing isn't the best. I mean, it's legible. It's not the neatest I can do, but it's at least as long as people read of what I'm trying to say, then it's fine. But what I mean by this is at this point you really gotta know how spelling, punctuation, grammar really works, and you gotta say it as if you're doing a proper essay. So you really read over your personal statement a few times and get other people to read it as well. So especially your teachers at your college, so in that way they can just be yeah, no, you don't need to talk about this bit, cross this and just write this bit instead, because that makes much more sense. I mean, I read it over a few times myself, and I think it sounds pretty good myself. I mean, yes, I did have to change a few bits and bobs and just took away stuff and then just re-sentenced it a little bit to make it a bit more sense to me. I had a couple of other people reading it as well. Shout out to Ibby Bub for reading it as well. He said it sounded good, it made much more sense. It shows I'm passionate about the course I want to do. So yeah, get other people to read it. But moving on to my next point, when you get other people to read it, ask for any proper feedback and anything that they thought didn't make any sense. There's no point giving it to somebody and they'll just be yep, amazing, woo, you're gonna be on that course next year. No. Stop right there. You need to have feedback for your personal statement because it's really important and it's really vital that you actually get the feedback that you need so that you can change your statement so that it makes much more sense. So by the time you actually apply to the course that you want to do, the admissions people will be like, yeah, this is a pretty good personal statement. It shows that they are, one, really passionate, two, they provided evidence, and three, they provided like enough reasons as to why they think they're a good student for this uni. So really ask people that you're asking them to read your personal statement for any feedback, whether that's good feedback or bad feedback. Any feedback is important at this rate. It's like your life is on a balance. You've really got to take this seriously in order for your personal statement to be good and in order for your applications to be good as well. Now on this screen right now, this is my actual personal statement. I sort of made this, like this was supposed to be part of like a unit in my level 3 course. I will pretty much do a detailed video on my experience at college so far. So make sure you turn on notifications and that way you will know when I'm going to be uploading that video. So then I just add a few extra bits and bobs and this is pretty much my finished personal statement. I haven't actually checked it with a teacher yet, but I've checked it with like a few of my mates and stuff like that, and they said it sounded really good, sounded very professional, but I don't know yet. So hopefully you guys got some few tips out of these videos and hopefully it should help you start forming your personal statement. Because remember, by September, October, applications need to be done and I would recommend doing them early. So yeah, thanks for watching, peace out, bye suckers.